So you see them everywhere. Tour guides, especially here in the French Quarter, telling the story of New Orleans history, food, and its ghosts.
And what you might not know is that the city regulates those guides pretty tightly, and it's not easy getting in front of a group.
Rachel Handley sat in on a tour guide class to find out what it takes.
It took Tony Bentley more than 100 hours to get here.
So it's 1540. He lands in Tampa Bay.
Like the city's other licensed tour guides, he didn't just show up and start talking.
It's a long process, but there's a reason for that.
He had to take a city-regulated test proving his knowledge of New Orleans culture and history.
Ionic, which has these swirls, which are called volutes.
To prepare, he took this class held by Friends of the Cabildo. Students spend 6 hours a day, 3 days a week, for almost an entire month learning about New Orleans.
It's been challenging. There's a lot of information that reminds me of being back in college.
Everyone in the room is passionate and determined to make it to the end.
I love New Orleans, and I love sharing the stories of New Orleans with people.
There are classes offered around the city, some with different specialties. You don't have to take one to take the test, but Cabildo lead tour facilitator Roby Robichaux says there are good reasons to do it.
You're not going to know how to conduct a tour. You're not going to have the basic regulations. You're not going to know how to gather your group.
And even if you're from here, you still might have a lot to learn.
You'd be surprised at how many people take this class and realize, wait a second, my mama told me this, and now you're telling me it's not right?
That's especially true if you take the Cabildo's test, which is harder than the city's. How hard? Only one way to find out. It took me about 20 minutes to get through the 100 questions. A few of them were pretty easy. Most of them said something like, the blank that flanked Jackson Square were built by blank in the years of blank and cost blank. Needless to say, I blanked. Roby and I sat down and went through my answers.
1/8 of a point. You got the century right.
And it was pretty clear I have some studying to do. You need to pass with a 70% to get a tour guide license.
Looks like you got a 22.5 on the test, and you're very close to becoming a tour guide. You just need 50 more points.
So you probably won't see me on the sidewalk anytime soon. And some tour guides you do see haven't passed the test either. Roby says there's a growing problem of people giving tours without a license.
Post-COVID, there is very little enforcement of the laws.
He told us if you want to be sure your tour is legal, just look at your guide's shirt. They have to wear their license while they're giving tours. Bentley says even with the time and energy it took to get his, it was worth it.
It's just knowing that the folks are having a good time and they're interested and they're staying engaged, and smiling and laughing and asking questions.
And he hopes more people will follow behind him. Rachel Handley, WWL, Louisiana.
Rachel, I'll be right there with you. I don't know all the details, but Friends of the Cabildo does offer its class once a year. It usually starts around the end of February, so maybe you should take it, Chris. I think you'd be a good tour guide.
I'd love to. No, I love Louisiana, New Orleans history, but that question, Rachel, I was trying to figure it out. The blank of flanked by Jackson, blank and cost, I don't know.